Can a simple conversation really change the course of a relationship? Communication is the backbone of any successful relationship, whether personal or professional. It's the key to resolving conflicts, preventing misunderstandings, and building strong bonds with others. But what happens when communication breaks down? Misunderstandings arise, emotions run high, and relationships suffer. Misunderstandings can stem from misinterpreted words, tone, or body language. We've all been there, thinking we've communicated something clearly, only to discover the other person has a completely different understanding. Assumptions are another major roadblock to effective communication. We assume we know what the other person is thinking or feeling, without taking the time to ask or clarify. This can lead to feelings of frustration, resentment, and even conflict. Emotions can also be a significant barrier to communication. When we're stressed, anxious, or upset, our ability to communicate effectively is severely impaired. Defensiveness and aggression can creep in, making it difficult to find a resolution. And then there's the issue of different communication styles. What works for one person may not work for another, leading to confusion and frustration. We've all had those conversations that start with the best of intentions, but quickly spiral out of control. But what if I told you that it doesn't have to be that way? What if I told you that a simple conversation can be the key to resolving conflicts, healing relationships, and even changing the course of our lives? It may sound too good to be true, but I've seen it happen time and time again. When we take the time to truly listen, to truly hear and understand the other person, magic can happen. I remember a story about a couple who had been at odds for months. They were on the brink of divorce, and it seemed like there was no way back. But one day, they decided to have a conversation. Just the two of them, sitting down, looking each other in the eye, and talking. They shared their fears, their hopes, their dreams, and their struggles. They listened without judgment, without assumption, and without interruption. And you know what happened? They started to understand each other. They started to see the world from each other's perspective. They started to heal. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't quick, but it was worth it. They're still together today, stronger and more in love than ever before. I've seen it happen in business, in friendships, and even in family relationships. A simple conversation can be the catalyst for change. It can be the starting point for a new chapter, a new beginning, or even a new life. Take, for example, the story of a former gang member who turned his life around after a conversation with a mentor. This mentor saw something in him that no one else did: potential. He took the time to listen, to understand, and to guide him. And you know what happened? This former gang member turned his life around. He started a business, started a family, and started living a life he never thought possible. It's an incredible story of transformation, and it all started with a conversation. What if I told you that this could be your story too? What if I told you that you have the power to change the course of a relationship, to heal a wound, or to transform a life? It starts with a conversation. A simple conversation that's free from judgment, assumption, and emotion. A conversation that's based on empathy, understanding, and active listening. So, can a simple conversation really change the course of a relationship? Absolutely. In fact, I believe it's the key to resolving conflicts, preventing misunderstandings, and building strong bonds with others. If you've had a similar experience where a conversation changed the course of a relationship, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. And if you're looking for more tips on effective communication, be sure to check out our next video, where we'll be discussing the top communication strategies for success.